So you may have seen this movie, Limitless, a little while back with Bradley Cooper. It would seem that life is imitating art as far as this pill that's come on the market that apparently is like Viagra for your brain. Here's a look at the movie, and then we'll talk about it a little more.
A tablet a day, and what I could do with my day was limitless. I learned to play the piano in 3 days. Math became useful and fun.
I'm all in.
Even half listening to any language, I became fluent.
So, Mom, I've been doing a little research on Aunt Helen's tumor, and it's totally clear that anybody with familial abdominis polyposis should be supplementing platinum-based doublet regimens with Icos and pentioic acid.
I suddenly knew everything.
So you may have been starting to hear about this pill called Provigil. And it's something that apparently is given out by prescription for narcolepsy, sleep apnea, or for people who work irregular hours. And it keeps you awake and allows you to, if you're finding yourself very sleepy during the day. But now people who are taking it are saying they feel phenomenally clear-minded, really sharp, like they can do just about anything. One woman was quoted as saying that she gets up at 5 a.m. to complete 2 full workouts before heading to work. She said, I could not do this without Provigil. It just wouldn't be the same. Others say it's just a clear day. There's no fog whatsoever.
Seems so scary, though, to take a drug and use it for off-label purposes and then have all these side effects where you have so much energy. There's just something that inherently just doesn't feel right about that.
There's a downside to this somewhere.
Exactly. And pro athletes are using it to give them a competitive edge, and poker players and things like that.
So they'll be testing for this. This will be part of the drug testing.
But what's more fascinating is the reason why it's so tempting, because so many of us are walking around in a fog, tired, and you know the information is in there. You know you're capable of so much more, but there's something is blocking you.
We all have those days, where you're searching for a word or you want to go do something else, but you're just so pooped.
And it should say that the National Institute of Health does advise that there are side effects, including back pain, tingling, depression, and hallucinations.
Well, and apparently doctors don't exactly know why it works the way it works. And until, I was saying this earlier, until something's been on the market for a significant amount of time, you really never know.
But it's always startling, given what you just said, what portion of the population is willing to make itself a guinea pig? Oh, I'll be a guinea pig for that.
That was the whole point of Limitless, where he didn't know what was going to happen to him by taking that pill, but it was so attractive, he couldn't say no.
Yeah, and that's why I think maybe this is from like a journalism point of view. What I think is more fascinating is why there's so many people with a need for this.
We work ourselves to the ground.
Because we don't have life balance.
Exactly.
People want something
That's like every time I go on vacation and I see that like half the people by the pool or wherever are asleep in the middle of the day, and it's just so apparent that like people are just so exhausted these days, just trying to keep up. So I'm sure we'll be hearing more about this in the days to come.